Graded stakes racing continues. This time we go to Oaklawn Park and it's time for a grade 1 race, the Apple Blossom Handicap, and 14 fillies and mares have entered this race. Been a while since we've had a grade 1 stakes race to handicap. Let's take a deep dive into this field, which pretty much is all of the who's who of best older horses in training. At least probably, I would say 14 of the top 20, 25 older fillies and mares. Ollie's Candy. Now, this horse is a 5-year-old mare with 4 wins and 11 starts. She does have a grade 1 victory. That was in the Clement Hirsch last year at Old Del Mar. But a little bit different circumstances that day. That was a 6-horse field. She got up in the final stride by a head kind of dug in on Secret Spice. Now she's got to face 13 other horses. She's facing other speed, and she's got to do it away from her home track at Santa Anita and Del Mar. So if you're going to take Ollie's Candy, a good plus for her is she gets Joel Rosario back. He's riding well, and he rode her once in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. She ran an even 4th when Blue Prize won that day over Midnight Basoo. So Ollie's Candy, definitely a contender. Coldwater is an outsider, 2 for 11 lifetime. She's facing grade 1 company. She would be tough to play in a grade 3 race. She's really a small stakes type horse, $75,000 listed stakes type horse. I think she's just a little bit outmatched here in this race. Aw Emma has been running well at the distance, 8.5 furlongs. And that should suit her well. She's 4 for 9. She's faced some of those grade 2 types, some optional stakes races, listed stakes races. She's trying to get some black type, got good connections. Dallas Stewart seems to run well at Oaklawn Park. And Aw Emma, 6 lifetime starts at Oaklawn Park, has 4 wins. Come Dancing, a backclasser, the 6-year-old mare. She's danced all the dances in grade 1 races. Last year she really came on, busted out in the rough and stakes with a 105 Brisnet speed figure. She also had a 114 Brisnet speed figure last year. And her last race was in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. She just didn't lift a foot that day. Now, Kafefi was very dominant, Bellafina, but remember that track surface was a little bit tricky at Santa Anita. I think you can throw that race out. But the questions for her is she going to run her best race in a full field at 1 1/16 miles? She seems to be a 7 furlong to a miler type horse, but I think she could have a good year. Point of Honor is a 4-year-old, the daughter of Curlin, really busted out last year, won the Black-Eyed Susan, second to Garana in the CCA Oaks, and then ran second in the Alabama Stakes to Dunbar Road. She's faced some good horses. Had 1 prep race this year at Tampa Bay. I like the fact that she ran 7 furlongs. Now she goes 1 1/16 miles. She gets other speed, and she is going to be closing with Javier Castellano not riding her. Drayden Van Dyke will ride Point of Honor for the first time. Point of Honor is the type of horse I think who could have a good solid 2020 campaign. Let's see what she does here in the Apple Blossom on the stretch out. Now Street Band, this one, she disappointed the last time, was bet down with Serengeti Empress, and in that race, Serengeti Empress just took the lead, went wire to wire, and drew off on a sloppy track. She's going to be a lot different pace dynamics this time. Street Band can lay back, make her run, doesn't have to be a victim of pace and post position here. Sophie Doyle stays in the saddle, and Street Band, definitely a contender, 8-9 to 1 is probably fair odds. Queen Nikia, 8 for 24 lifetime, been running out east, Gulfstream Park, Delaware, Laurel, kind of an East Coast horse with all of the East Coast tracks shipped closed right now. Queen Nekia just needs to get a race in so she can go back to Delaware and Monmouth and even New York and get some races in this summer. I think this is more of a prep for Queen Nekia. I don't think they're really going to go all out in a race like this. Sarah Sosa is another one that's rising up in class. The daughter of Bernardini, definitely has a pedigree to get the 1 1/16 miles. She's got a little bit of class that fits at this conditions, but 2 for 15 lifetime and facing other horses like Point of Honor and Serengeti Empress and even Ollie's Candy. She's really going to have to improve. Her best Brisnet speed figure is a 96, and it's probably going to take a 101 or a 102 to win a race like this. Horologist, another one going up a little bit in class. She's ran in some grade 2 and grade 3s. Been strong at this distance, 1 mile, 1 1/16 miles, so I think they like the distance. Another one ran at Laurel, Santa Anita, Keeneland. Probably going to be West Coast base this year. But right now with all the East Coast tracks, you got to get a race in here. These horses can't just keep on working out. They need a race. So For the first time in a lot of years, people are not going to be used to these horses running in these Grade 1 races in a 12, 13, 14 horse field that really just aren't that well meant. They're just getting in races so they can build up that bottom and really point for a good race. Now, Cookie Dough had a nice win the last time out at Gulfstream Park. She's another one that fits in that Grade 2, Grade 3 level. She did run in the Grade 1 Acorn, lost by 16 lengths. That was at Belmont last summer. Came back in the Rampart, opened up by 3, and then faded late, but then eked out a victory last time in the Royal Delta. She seems to be in form. Joseph Saffey ships her in for this race. I think she fits the conditions. Going up a little bit in class. Hard to dismiss. I think she could be in the money, but going to be hard pressed to really take too low of a price on a horse like Cookie Dough. I'd want at least 10 to 1. Serengeti Empress had a big win the last time out, but that was a lot different conditions. Smaller field. She raced to the lead. She was able to slow down that pace at the second call and then squirted away and won by 6 on a sloppy track. This time out, she's got to face other speed. She's got to face other classy horses. Smokin' Joe Talamo stays in the saddle. Going to get pressure this time. She's a good horse, and on her best day, she can win a race like this, but she can't get too cute this time. She's going to have to really ration out that speed because before that, she had lost 3 in a row, 4 in a row, kind of just getting past late. She's going to run well. Question is can she win? Go Google herself, won a nice little listed stakes race the last time out, the Bayakoa Grade 3. Before that, second in the Fall City Grade 2 last year at Churchill Downs. She really got good at the tail end of last year. She's a 5-year-old by Into Mischief. Always been a nice little horse for JMS Stables. And go Google herself. You know, she's kind of done everything she can do in those Grade 3s and Grade 2s. She's got to face the big dogs now, and so we'll see what she can do in a Grade 1 race like the Apple Blossom. Lady Apple was bet down the last time, disappointed, lost by 20 lengths to Serengeti Empress. That was after a win at Sam Houston. Now she's got to face another full field, but I think she's another one that really likes to point and shoot and really kind of track one horse. I'm not sure she likes the race dynamics with 2-3 horses making those mid-race moves. In her win, she's had a benefit of a couple of rail trips at Sam Houston, and then she scraped the paint last fall at Remington Park in the Remington Park Oaks. So Lady Apple, a nice horse, but I prefer others in a race like this. On the outside, shipping in is CC, another one like Serengeti Empress. She got the dream trip the last time. She was 4 to 1 against Hard Not to Love. Hard Not to Love was forced to the lead, and she's not really a front-running horse. And CC off the layoff, off the one prep, she had ran a 92 in her one sprint prep and then stretched out. Now she's got to come from the outside post, face other speeds, put away that mid-pace runners, and then try to hold off the closers. I think CC is more of a bet against in a race like this, mainly because of race dynamics. She's also switching surfaces, and she has that outside post position. That's a look at the Lady Blossom. Remember, hit subscribe, share this video with all your horse racing friends as we take a look at racing all the way through the summer to the Triple Crown, the Breeders' Cup. And remember, hit subscribe. Who's going to be that 500 subscriber? Ring that bell for notifications and leave a comment. Who do you like in the 2020 Apple Blossom?